Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What is up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. I am Nick Eatman. It is Wednesday, October the 2nd. It's time to hear from you guys. This is your show where you can sound off. I'm sure you have plenty to talk about as the Cowboys get ready to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers up in Pittsburgh. Is that a rivalry? Is Pittsburgh a rivalry? That's a question I guess I will throw to you guys. And who are the rivals for this team? You know, I mean, it's always the Eagles, Washington, if they don't change their name, Giants. But other than those division ones, I always think Pittsburgh is, I guess because of the link. I grew up Super Bowl era. They were playing each other. And so Packers, 49ers, those are the rivals to me. Pittsburgh is, if there is one in the AFC, I guess that team in Houston is one. But we'll see. But all right. 888-855-2297. We have a couple callers on the line. I know we want to talk about, we have injury situations going on. There'll be more injuries to talk about maybe before this show's even over. We'll probably have some more that will pop up. Not good for this team. They're battling stuff on defensive end. They're battling stuff, obviously, at cornerback with trying to get Deron Bland back. And there might be a couple more on the horizon. All right, let's go to the phone lines, though. Cowboy Jeff is in Mount Gary, Maryland, right? Mount Gary, Maryland?
Morning, Nick. Yeah, Mount Airy, Maryland.
Oh, okay. All right, Maryland.
But that's close enough.
Close enough. What's up, Cowboy Jeff?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Fourth-time caller, fourth time getting in. And, I wanted to clear something up for you. Thank you very much. I love it.
Sure.
You were talking to a pastor recently, and then Chris started playing some music. You're like, what is this music about here? Well, when pastors call, he plays church music.
All right.
So that was church music, you know.
I got it.
And so that was pretty cool. And
thank you for telling me what church music sounds like, because I don't know, because I don't, I work on Sundays. I guess I don't ever go to church. So no, I'm kidding. I heard it. It was faint. No, it wasn't like a here we go. It was
right.
Like, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, I could hear it. Yeah. I could hear it. I knew exactly what it was because I listen to every podcast. So anyway, I'm sure Chris already cleared that up for you, but I wanted to do that as well. But
He did.
The other thing I wanted to say was last Wednesday, after a caller, a bunch of Dallas Downers are calling, and they want to blow it up and, get a new coach and do this and this. This is I'm a all-weather fan. So whether they win, I love them. Whether they lose, I love them. Like you're talking about rivalries. I remember back in 1989, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think they were 1-15.
Mm-hmm.
But they had some freaking awesome players on that team that made it to the Hall of Fame. And that team, But the great thing about that season,
they did.
We beat Washington. That's awesome. So
what was the score?
It was of that game.
Yeah.
Am I getting it right? I mean, it was a low-scoring game. I think Troy Aikman didn't even play because he was injured. It was at Washington, I think.
Won. Yeah,
and like 14-13. I'm going to just guess 14-13, something like that. But you could tell me the score because you remember it. I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah, it was 13-3. And Paul Palmer, a running back, who had the game of his life. Had the game of his life. Steve Walsh was
and Paul Boo Boo Palmer. He went to
Temple,
a high school near here. He went to Churchill. He went to Churchill High School,
but the point,
which was a rival of.
Okay.
My high school, Springbrook High School.
Okay, but the point, sorry, we're leading off the show here. Well, the point is that the rivalries, they beat Washington. It didn't matter. They won one game. That sucked, but at least you beat Washington. And you know what?
Absolutely.
Washington did the same thing in 1995. The Cowboys were 12-4, won the Super Bowl. The Redskins were 4-12, but they swept the Cowboys that year. Sometimes
they beat us twice. Yes.
All right, Jeff, what else? You got anything else?
Yeah, and no, I'm just I'm looking forward to beating our rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, because that's a '70s rival. But we've met in the Super Bowl, I guess, 3 times,
right.
And I guess San Francisco 49ers would be a '90s rival, and the NFC East is always a rival. But let's just win them all. Let's just win them all. How about that?
All
But
right.
thanks for taking my call. Have a great day. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Cowboy Jeff. All right, let's keep it going. Randy is in Texarkana.
Good morning, sunshine.
Morning. What's up?
Man, I've just been busier than Jesse Holly at the trailer park with a case of wings. I hadn't been able to call in a while, so I just wanted to get in touch with you, see how you were doing.
We're good. We're good. How are you?
I'm fine. Hey, let's do something a little different. Just change it up some. Today, I was talking to somebody about AT&T Stadium because I was reminding them that I was going to the Lions game next weekend. And I referred to it as the new stadium. I said it several times. Man, that thing's been there 15 years now. How crazy is that?
15 years. That's right.
Is that not wild?
It is. It is.
It
still looks new, feels new. I still get
it
lost.
Does.
I get lost if I don't know where I am. I mean, like, it's not the easiest place to get around. So it still has that new look and feel. Yep.
That's right. And so some of my best memories is at Texas Stadium whenever I'd take my kids over and, it'd be a beautiful day like it is today, nice and cool, and you're making that walk to the stadium, just the memories of it. So to cheer you up,
I'm fine.
let me just do this. And I just want to hear, give me, and I'll get off to let you tell it, but give me either a Texas Stadium or an AT&T Stadium, something that takes you back,
Yep.
like some good story that makes you feel good.
All right.
And let's hear it.
All right.
Sound good?
Yep, sounds
All
good.
right. Hey, love you guys.
Thanks, man. All right, Randy.
bye.
Thanks for the call. I'll have two. When I was 7 years old, my dad took me to a playoff game in 1983 against the Rams, and it was one of the coldest games ever. It's so cold that the pipes froze and the bathrooms, all the plumbing was out, and they had porta potties and stuff like that. It was so cold. The Cowboys lost to the Rams, and I'll never forget that memory, just all bundled up, and but we wanted to watch the game. I thought you had to get something to eat, but my dad was like, let's just go. I'll get you a really nice steak if we could just go back here and watch this game. And I was 7 years old. I wanted, like, I don't know what I wanted, hot chocolate or something. But I'll never forget. I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. Like, oh, the pipes are frozen. That didn't matter to me. Like, I was at Texas Stadium was the greatest thing. And then another thing about it, when I started working for the Cowboys, I always would park at this guardrail, right at the guardrail. That's about the closest I could park 3 hours before a game. I would step over the guardrail and walk in. And every time I stepped over the guardrail, I would see fans, faces painted, jerseys, all this stuff. They're going to the games, maybe scalping, trying to get tickets, whatever. And I would walk over that guardrail and I would tell myself, this is your job. This is your job. And I did that every single time I walked over there. I don't have a spot like that at AT&T, which I should, a reminder, but that was my reminder every single time. Like, wow, this is cool, And what, Derek and I sit next to Derek Eagleton. He sometimes before kickoff, he's like, we get to do this for free. It's been 25 years. We've been doing this 25 years, and we still have that feeling. I think that's what carries us going, and that's why maybe I have the mindset that I do when you guys are saying, oh, the season's over, or blah, 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 whatever. Like I find the good in all of it, or at least try to a little bit. And so I always try to have that perspective. But Texas Stadium, I don't know if that answers your question, but Texas Stadium, that's just a memory when I think of Texas Stadium. I think of that, and just every time I would park there and get to go, I'm like, they're paying me to actually go to this game. This is unbelievable. All right, let's go to Michael, and he's in California. I don't know where. Michael, California?
Oh, yeah, I'm Ojai.
Ojai, all right, that's exactly what it says. I was like, Chris already messed up one thing for me on here, so I don't know. But first-time caller, right?
Yeah, actually, what's funny is I actually called in, a long time ago when I was just a snot-nosed teenager when you were on the break. And I remember asking a question about why somebody pulled hamstrings back when Miles Austin and all these guys were pulling hamstrings. So, but actually I was just calling, just want to say appreciate the show. It's awesome. And your insight is always helpful being in California and especially near Oxnard. I got to go down for the first time to the Cowboys training camp this year with my fiance.
Cool.
we just moved to Carpinteria, actually, from Reno, so it was nice to be able to actually go and experience it. But with the Steelers coming up, I actually had a question about if you have kind of I'm sure you do, but a favorite or kind of most consequential Steelers Cowboys memory. Because for me, my time as a Cowboys fan has been mostly, I grew up with the 90s and then got the Tony Romo years in high school.
Yeah.
So, it's been a bit of an up and down ride.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see the glory years of Cowboys Steelers. But, and this is a completely random fun fact, and then I'll get off the phone. But I'm a teacher, and I chaperoned a outdoor ed camping trip to Santa Cruz Islands, and I ended up actually playing catch with John Stallworth by accident,
Nice.
sort of. But yeah, so random Steelers crossover there. But
All right.
I'll hang up and
right.
hear what you got to say.
Hall of Fame, John Stallworth, I believe. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the call. The Steelers. It's always an interesting game. Every time they play. Or I just remember. This last one. The one 8 years ago. I can't get better than that. That was an unbelievable game, back and forth. This was supposed to be the game, Dak. All right. Good season, Dak, so far. But wait till you play the Steelers in Big Ben, and they were up for the challenge. Zeke was amazing. It was awesome. I just remember the openers, the 97 and 94 opener. Where they go into Three River Stadium and they win, and in 97 Deion Sanders was playing baseball the whole year. It was playing for the Giants, I believe, or the Reds, one of the two. And and then he just shows up on Saturday for the opener against the Steelers. And he's been playing baseball, and now I didn't think about it at the time. But now working here and realizing if you're not in training camp, you're not in football shape, it takes a little bit of time. But not if you're Deion Sanders. And he went out there, shut down cornerback, returned to punt like 40 yards. And I remember John Madden was like, "This guy's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable to be playing center field on Friday or Saturday, and then go play on Sunday." And he was just a freak of nature. It was unbelievable. I remember they won that game. 37-7. It wasn't a good season in '97, but it sure looked like it was going to be for that game. So a lot of memories, Steelers, Super Bowls, all that kind of stuff. But even the regular season games are memorable. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's go, Lewis in Langston, Oklahoma.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
It's Wednesday, so I'm okay.
All right.
Not bad. I was calling. I was giving just my little take on the game. Hopefully it pans out well. They got a couple new guards. One guard, they end up losing a guard last week, and so they got a couple new guards. So hopefully that may bode well for Mozzie to keep, taking more steps forward, and keeping the linebackers clean so they can run around and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that bodes well for the defense, even though we lose, D-Law and Michael Parsons. But they didn't run really well last week against the Colts. Justin Fields, I think, led them in rushing. So, if they can keep him in the pocket, maybe you have a good chance of keeping the defense from getting ran on as crazy. And then they don't Pickens is their big deep threat. Really, he's the main receiver. The other three receivers, they have only had about, I think, 100-something yards combined. So hopefully we can keep that going where we can not give up too many yards in the receiving. So in reality, I think the defense might play a bigger role this game than the offense. And hopefully that can keep going what he's doing. And like everybody else been saying, we can figure out what we're going to do with the running game. I'm not going to complain or talk too much about it because I know everybody has a whole bunch to say about that. So I'm not going to stay on long, and I'll just listen as I go.
All right. Appreciate the call. Sounds like Broadus, like on his Wednesday and Thursday, and he breaks down the other team on the break. And, nice scouting report there, Lewis. Yeah, you say that, he led the team in rushing, Justin Fields. Well, Lamar does that sometimes. Maybe not this year with Derrick Henry doing what he's doing. But Justin Fields is that type of quarterback where, it's not like oh, well, Dak led the team in rushing or Daniel Jones. Justin Fields can be a dynamic runner. And so, but they're going to have to turn him, keep him in the pocket, of course, to keep him from running. Also, he'll throw it to you. If he throws that many passes, now he's doing a nice job of hanging onto the ball. He has had fumbled a couple times, but he's not throwing a ton of interceptions. Maybe just one. I think it was deflected. So he's done a nice job there. They're going to have to keep everything in the pocket and stay true to their reads and their keys, because this is one of those games where you just don't have those dynamic players, and I think they're going to have to crank up some blitzes here. Make it different than what they've seen, what Fields has seen, whatever he's looking at, and that's the one thing that's going to be a challenge for them. They're going to look at what tape are they looking at here. They're going to look at the tape that has, here's Parsons coming off the edge. Here's what D-Law does. Parsons moves over here. Now he's over here. Well, who's part? They're not going to replace a Micah Parsons. So I'm not saying it's like going to be a disadvantage for them, but they're not going to really have a good look of what the Cowboys are trying to do, because they're going to be vastly different and I think you're going to see that in the blitzes and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather have the old G's over there with Micah and Tank. I'd rather have that than say, oh, well, they don't know what to prepare for. They'll figure it out after the first 3 or 4 plays. So I'd rather have the pass rusher, especially one that's one of the best in the league. But it is what it is, and that's one thing that maybe they can help the Cowboys this week is to kind of dial up different blitz packages and schemes and looks that we haven't seen before, because they're forced into that. All right, let's go to Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida.
What's up, Nick? How are you today, sir?
Hey, Robbie, how you doing?
I'm good. No hurricanes this week, so we're doing good. We might have one next week again. I hope Jake catches the pass this week.
Oh, thanks. I was like, I thought you said Gates. I was like, oh, Antonio. Yeah, Jacob. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Jake's the snake, your boy.
Actually, double bye, 2 weeks in a row off. So,
oh wow.
It's like mid-season here. I don't know. But
okay.
Yeah. Thank you though.
So of course. About the Cowboys. So I know I don't know about doom and gloom, but I've been concerned about our run game, and I've been concerned about our defense.
It's last in the league. You can be. It's not doom and gloom. You don't have to be a bad fan. They're last in the league, and that's bad. It's been bad. It's been bad.
It's been horrible. Yeah.
Okay.
However, even with all of our starters out on defense, not all obviously, but probably Kason, Deron Bland's still out, Micah. Tank. I think Mozzie's going to step up and slow the run game down. I don't think Justin Fields is as good of a runner or a good of a passer as he is a runner. Sure. Like you were just saying, how dynamic he is.
Sure.
And I think that our offense comes alive when we actually get a run game this week, and we're going to win this game. That's just my gut feeling. I think we're going to 27-13, 27-21.
It's a different game. That's
different.
That's 2 different games right there.
I forgot about the defense for a second there, man.
Okay. I'm just saying. There's a lot less fingernails on that second game, 27-21, than on the first one. But I get what you're saying, and I don't know. I kind of have a sneaky feeling about this game too. I haven't picked it. It might be. Look at the line. The line's 2.5.
Yeah. What gets me? I wish that the Steelers had won last week. Then I'd have given us 95% chance to win.
I'm 1,000% with you. I said that on a radio show this morning that I do. If they were 4-0, I'd feel way better about picking the Cowboys for this game. But
me too.
Yeah. You know what? Make that make sense. It makes sense to you and me. That's good enough.
You got any stories about Romo that you can tell? Unless you're too busy, then maybe another day.
Stories on Romo?
Yeah, that all of us don't know. Something cool that's funny.
You want
that you can tell on air.
Oh yeah. I can tell it on air. Either you pick. I'll give you 2 topics: golf or flag football. Which one you want?
Oh, flag football, because it cuts into your son too a little.
Let's go, Chris
Beam. Let's go. All right, Robbie. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, we're gonna tell this story and then we're gonna go to break. So Romo's, and some people may know this story. So Chris and I are teammates with Tony. All right. So after his first season with the team, so this is like
I think it was his first season.
Yeah, this is like in 2003, 2004. I think he'd played 1 year, honestly. But anyways, nobody knew who he was because he didn't even really play. We play in flag football, just a bunch of people here with the Cowboys, mostly with the Cowboys. We're playing a city rec league, right down the street. And we got Cowboy jerseys, like the practice jerseys, the royal blue and all that. We think we're cool. I was like a lineman. I barely got to play. But we had a pretty good team and a pretty good quarterback who knows how to play flag football. But about week 3 or 4, I don't know who got him.
It was me.
It was you? All right. Well, Chris got Tony to come out and play with us. We didn't call him Tony. We called him T, because if anyone did recognize him, probably not supposed to be doing that. He comes in and starts playing. He was awesome, like he should be. He was awesome. The quarterback, he was great. Our other quarterback kind of got mad, and of course, I think he quit the team for a little bit because he was kind of pissed about it.
A lot better on defense too, though.
Romo was great on defense. He was intercepting passes. He was awesome. I was blocking for Tony. It was cool. We were great. We won most of the games, I think. We were undefeated. Went to the playoffs. And Romo threw 5 picks in the playoff game, and we lost. Bad. Remember that? We lost. I mean,
yes.
like we played a team. They were all like they all spoke Spanish, and they were a great flag football team.
Great team.
And they had it all figured out. And I mean, we kept throwing interceptions, and I was like, this guy's not very good. Like, he's never going to be in the NFL. He's never going to be that good of a player. Yeah, face of the franchise for a decade. So sometimes, you can't always figure that out. But that was cool. Yeah, that part of the story about, in the playoffs, huh? But anyways, he is an unbelievable athlete, and he was a great defensive player. But, yeah, I remember Chris was there. I was there. It was kind of fun. All right, we're going to go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back for more calls.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Step up your game day look with the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Nike Zoom Pegasus running shoes. Discover the ultimate comfort with its cushions, breathable mesh, all that good stuff. Go to a pro shop near you or log in to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience to score yours today. That is the 2024 Nike Zoom Pegasus running shoe. That's a lot to say. All right, back here on Cowboys Storyline. Going back to the phone lines. We got Kevin. He's in New Jersey. He's been holding. Kevin, thanks, man.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I've called before. I have 4 sons. My father-in-law is an Eagle fan, so we have some fun with it. I'm actually coming down. I'm bringing all my sons down to the Lions game in a couple of weeks. So,
wow, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. A little frustrated with sort of what's going on with the team. It's a big investment, bringing everybody down.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, and the reason I call, usually I like to just listen. I don't call in very often. But I figured I would call in today because I'm a Met fan. I'm a Met Cowboy fan. And the New York Mets were dead in the water in late May. There were 11 games under 500. And basically the entire fan base was giving up on them. They said, this is trash. I can't even watch this. And, what they did to turn their season around, you don't really know how or why or when it's going to happen. But, the moral of this story is seeing them get into the playoffs and then watching them in the playoffs yesterday was just the reason you watch. It was such a spectacular feeling. And, the Mets this was in 62 years, this was the 11th time they've made the playoffs. So it's a special thing. It's something that I'm enjoying. And I'm looking at the Cowboy game and I'm coming down and I want them to win. But at the same time, it's like, you just never know. It's why we watch sports. So that's the beauty of it. So that's all. That's all I had to say. Right. I love the show. I appreciate you taking my call.
No problem.
I want all the fans out there to be like, you know what? It's just a game. And when it does happen, it's special. And, you take it with you, and that's what you take away from it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. You're right. You never know how things are going to turn around, and there's a lot of season to be played. You said that late May. Well, I mean, June, July, August, September. I mean, I did the math. That's probably about 115 games that they still had to play. So obviously they got a slow start, and 115 games to play. A lot of time in baseball to come back from whatever that was, 11 games or out or whatever. Is this late May for the Cowboy season? A quarter of the way through or something like that. Probably about the same. I mean, I'm not doing good math here, but you play 162, you got about 115. It's about a quarter, I guess, something like that. So that seems about right. That's about where we are here. This is late May of a baseball season, and the Cowboys aren't 11 games out of hurt, or even close to that. I mean, they're 2-2. They're a game back from Washington in the NFC East, and still trying to figure themselves out. But this stretch here, this next 4 games or so, is going to be really, really tough because the teams they're facing are tough football teams, and the Cowboys are hurt. They are banged up right now in a bad way. They're banged up on defense at the same position. Their top 2 pass rushers. They're banged up. The cornerbacks are hurt. I mean, Kalen Carson's having to play, but he's hurt. And then trying to get Deron Bland back. They've got some injuries on offense that are going to be coming up here. They're going to be banged up at receiver. They need some receiver help. So it's just going to be it's going to be a really, really tough next few games for this Cowboy team. All right, Alex in South Bay, California.
Hey, what's going on, Nick? Long time no talk. Hope all is well, man. I just got a couple things for you. So when I called the very first time when the show was getting on its feet, it's obviously it's gone up and running now. It's a great show now, and you guys are busy. I got through on the 35th call, so that says a lot. But so when I first called, I gave you my random player. I gave you my favorite player. If I could give you my wrestlers really quick, growing up as a kid, it was the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. And then as I got a little older, it wasn't just one specific wrestler. It was a group of them. NWO, that was my thing with Sting and Hogan and all those guys. That was great. But then, so obviously it's Steelers week. So I really hope Mike McCarthy looks at the 2016 film because there's 2 plays that I hope he implements into the offense.
Screen. And
they're as successful. One would be if we could get a screen pass to Deuce Vaughn and he could take it to the house similar to what Zeke did, because I know Zeke doesn't have the wheels to do that anymore. So that would be one play. And then the other would be a jet sweep to Turpin, because if I'm not mistaken, I think Lucky Whitehead had a similar play that went for, I want to say maybe 20 yards or so. And, just give this offense some juice. Those are 2 fast guys that I think if you give them the ball in open space, they can do something with it. They just haven't done it so far. And then last thing for you, Nick, is so I was listening to yesterday's show, and Rob called, and he gave you that Jerry Jones question of, what would Jerry, would you prefer at this point? You had mentioned, he'll take the Super Bowl, no questions asked. Like, he would do that. He would basically take his hands off or, get out of the driver's seat, move into the passenger seat, and win a Super Bowl with him not having so much control as he does now. So my question to you would be, well, why hasn't he done that then? It's been 30 years. Like, whatever he's doing, the way he has his hands gripped on this franchise and on every decision, it hasn't worked into producing championships or producing, not necessarily a championship, at least a NFC championship. So that's my question. Why hasn't he maybe taken a step back and let someone else take control of the reins? I appreciate it, Nick. I'll try to get back sometime soon, but have a good one.
Thank you. Because he doesn't believe that is the best way for the business. He doesn't believe that he needs to do that. He believes that he'll, probably you add help in, you add different voices, different people, different coaches, different personnel. You do it a different way. They're very, it's collective and how they do things and he doesn't make all of the decisions. Okay, I mean he doesn't. It's been documented. Everyone knows that he doesn't do that. Johnny Manziel would have been the quarterback here or a quarterback here, and not Zach Martin if he made all of the decisions. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff. He gets a lot of input from other people, and that's how they operate things here. He's the owner / GM, but it's done a different way. And the reason why he hasn't changed it is because he doesn't think that he has to do that. He doesn't think that's the necessary thing. That's like with any owner, anybody. It's like, why haven't you done that? Because that's the decision that they made. I mean, he doesn't have to answer that. It's his call. But if you think he's the only one making decisions, then you're not really paying attention. So there's a lot of people. Will McClay gets a lot of credit for a lot of stuff that he's done, and rightfully so. So that's how they've operated. They've done that. They've drafted well. They've added good personnel. So it comes down to a lot of things of why they haven't won. But I mean, then again, this team gets judged on why they haven't won the Super Bowl. That's what it comes down to, why they haven't won the Super Bowl. All right. And then you said that about the screen, well, I mean, let's not forget they scored a touchdown on a screen with Rico, and it was a 17-yarder, 15-yarder, whatever, but it was a nice play. And it was one that if they had more room, it might have been a bigger play. I mean, other than just the touchdown, it was a really nice play for him. So, all right, let's go, Jeff in Salt Lake City.
Hey Nick, how are you?
Hey Jeff.
It's been a while since I've talked to you, but I've been listening. I want to ask you a quick question, and then I'll get off the line because I know a lot of people want to talk to you.
Thank you.
But with the two rookies on the offensive line, I mean, although Guyton's kind of been struggling, we knew he was going to take his lumps. I'm pretty excited about them, and Tyler Smith's continued progress over the last 3 years. But I wanted your opinion in regards to the offensive line coach. I know a lot of our linemen train with Duke Manyweather, but I was wondering, do you feel that since Joe Philbin's left, that the the linemen have regressed a little bit, such as Terrence Steele, and I understand Zach Martin is getting a little bit older, but usually it seems like linemen seem to age well as they get into their 30s. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts on that. With Solari coming in, change of styles, do you feel that there's been any regression at all? And I'll take the answer offline, and you have a good day, Nick.
All right, thank you. I don't think I'm not saying that it's perfect on the O-line, okay? But let's just break down the facts on that. Again, I'm not a fan one way or another on that. I don't have a huge opinion about the O-line coach and all that. That's one area about blocking schemes and zone blocking, gap blocking. That's not really my strength. Obviously, I didn't play in the trenches like that. But you're asking a question on have the players regressed at all on the offensive line. So let's just break it down since he got here. Did Tyron Smith regress? I don't think so. I mean, he was hurt. Played a little bit better, when he got kind of healthy again. He showed that he could still do it. Tyler Smith, his career has gone upward. And now he's made an All-Pro and a Pro Bowl last year. I think Biotish was about the same, pretty good. Zach Martin's hard. I mean, if Zach Martin has regressed, it's not because of the line coach. It's because he's getting older and older, but I still think he's great. And then Terrence Steele got hurt and then came back halfway through last year. He was banged up some, he was not banged up, but he had a torn ACL that he was coming off of, and it wasn't the same until about mid-season, and it kind of clicked, and I thought he played much better, and I don't think he's regressed. I really don't. He's your right tackle. He gives up some plays, but he's pretty good in the run game. If they can get that going, that's kind of more his strength, I think, too. So I wouldn't say that the offensive line has regressed. I don't think, but it's just the same with the whole team. It's like the standard, and your offensive line is like, well, that 90s group, or even that group 2013, 14, 15, those 3 Pro Bowlers you had. And it's not there. So when it's not there, then what's the problem? And I know the O-line coach gets the blame, and I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I don't know about, you could say that they've regressed a lot from there. All right. Next caller, Travis. Is that right? We got Travis?
Yep, Travis in PA. How are you doing?
How you doing? Is this first time
Good.
call?
First time caller. Thank you. I wanted to tell you, first of all, thank you guys for all the shows. I listen all the time. I just had to sneak outside at work to call. I never really get much of a chance, but you make the experience much better.
Well, thank you, Travis. Appreciate that. What do you got for us?
For 2 things. You definitely have legitimacy to saying it would have been better if Steelers would have won next week. We're going to the game, and my best friend's coming with me. He's a Steelers fan, and he was hoping they would have lost last week to the Colts because he thought they would have had a better chance.
Okay.
So there's definitely some legitimacy there to that comment.
Yeah. It's just a weird league, and you know that the more that you win, it's harder. Now you're the undefeated team. Vikings are going to see it. The Chiefs have been seeing it.
Right.
So it's just
the A game.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I've been to 3 games, and we're going this weekend. They've all been nail biters. I've been to the Buffalo Monday night. I've been to the Detroit a few weeks or so after that, and then Steelers in 2016. So they've all been good games, and this one should be too.
Oh man, well those are some good ones.
Yeah, I've had some experiences, I must say.
Yeah, you went to the Buffalo game. Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Well,
yep.
All right. Well, Travis, hope that this is another good one for you, and it'll be a fun experience there, fun game on the night game. So stay safe.
Let's hope so.
All right. Don't get hit in the face with one of those towels. I mean, that's
I'll try not to.
Yeah. And don't grab it.
Might be fighting them off.
Yeah. That'll be cool. No, there'll be a lot of Cowboy fans there. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. When I was there 8 years ago, there was probably 30 to 40%. So pretty good showing.
Yeah. Yeah, every year. Thanks for the call, Travis. Every game that is played with an AFC team, that it goes somewhere, or an NFC AFC team where the road team, if they have any kind of fan base at all, there's going to be fans. There's just, it's always the case. And the Ravens, they had a lot of fans at the Cowboy game. I mean, it's one of those when you're the season ticket holder, if you want to sell it. It's fine to do that, but these teams, I mean, Cowboys, like they will be at this game in Pittsburgh. They'll be there just like they were in Cleveland. There was a lot of Cowboy fans there in Cleveland. It's just the way it is. It's the way it goes in the NFL now, and that's the way it should be. Just because you move to another city, used to be you got moved, in the 70s or 80s. Like, well, this is my team now. My company moved us to Tampa. I guess we're going to root for the Bucs or whatever. It's not the way it goes anymore. You can NFL Sunday ticket if you want to buy that and sell your car and have to pay for that. Go for it. But I mean, you have options to watch your team, and with the websites and all that kind of stuff, you can podcasts like this. Look at all these callers: Maryland, California, Oklahoma, Florida, New Jersey, California, Utah, Arkansas. It's awesome. All right, we're gonna go to break here on the Cowboys Storyline. We have a couple more calls to get to after this. We'll be right back.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Captain Morgan and the Dallas Cowboys are looking for the NFL Fan of the Year. You have a chance to nominate yourself as the biggest Cowboys fan you know. You can win a lot of prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year. All right, back to the phone lines. We got Chris in San Angelo, Texas. What's up, Chris?
Hey, not much. Hope you're doing well today, Mr. Nick.
You too. How are you?
Pretty good last time I checked.
All right. Always got to check.
There you go. Hey, let's see. I've missed about the last 4 shows live, so last night I went back and, re-listened just so I wouldn't be Mr. Repeater. And just by the way, you powered through Friday's show really well, so I know what you're probably going through on that one. So.
Oh yeah, I was like, what happened Friday? Oh yeah, 2 hours sleep.
Was exactly. So hope we're all back on track there.
We're good. We're good.
Okay, good. All I have, one thing, there's going to be a player or player that's going to really, really step it up on defense. And I say that because they kind of have to,
Yeah.
And so who do you think that player might be? I have an idea.
Go for it. Who you got?
Okay. I know it's not the right position, but I'm looking at DeMarvion Overshown. It's just stepping it up because he kind of has the makeup of what I would consider a superstar player who could wreck a game. So I think we're just going to need that kind of thing from him. See what you thought about that.
Yeah.
And if you had somebody.
Thanks for the call. Thanks, Chris. Overshown, yeah, because it would be great. It'd be great to be that for him to be that guy because he does have those traits that you're talking about. He can run sideline to sideline. He can make plays, forceful impact type to plays. Sometimes those plays lead to turnovers. He actually had one. I think if they would have called that a fumble on the field, I think they might have kept that as a fumble. I don't know if you remember there's a pass around the left flat right in front of the Giants sideline or maybe it wasn't a pass, maybe it was a run, but I know that he chased it down, and I thought for sure, I had a bet with Derek in the press box that they were going to call that a fumble. And initially they did. Then they said on the field that it wasn't, and then they'd have to overturn it. But I think if they would have just called that a fumble, and then the Giants would have, or they would have had to overturn it. I don't know if it would have. It would have. The ball was definitely moving, coming out. My point was he made a great play, and those type of players usually lead to turnovers. So I'm fine if he's the guy. It's going to have to be someone else though. So what about a guy? I mean, I just have a feeling Carl Lawson's going to step it up. He's on the practice squad right now. I feel like he might do something. So Lawson, Golston would be great. Chauncey Golston, somebody on that D line is going to have to do it. Maybe it's Marshawn Nealon, but it needs to be. Overshown was already expected to do great things. They need someone else now. He's still going to be out there. They need someone to take his place. All right, Nico in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Nico, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Nick? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
I hope the family is well.
Thank you.
And again, I can't compliment you enough on all your work and what you do for us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Thanks to Derek as well for that. Okay, real quick. I don't have a question, but I have a story, a fast one, and then a take, and then I'm off.
Okay.
Here it is. The story. I'm going to take you back to 1996. It was our Super Bowl year. We were playing, obviously, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, half my family is Cowboy fans. The other half is Steeler fans, with the one exception, my father, who is a Viking fan. We don't talk to him. Anywho, that night, I will never forget this. I was 12 years old. We won our 5th Super Bowl before the Steelers won their 5th Super Bowl. So for a while, my family hated the Cowboys side, always saying, we got our 5 before yours. Well, they got their 6th before us, and they've never turned back, and they keep going, and they're powerful, so are the other teams. Anyways, the fun story about that is my uncle and my mother got into such a heated fight that we had the cops called on us. My uncle and my mom were both taken to jail. How about them Cowboys?
God, okay. Seriously, yeah.
Okay, here's
fun
my hot
story.
take.
Fun story. Mom's in handcuffs. All right.
Yeah. Hey, you've heard me before. I told you I'm that fan, man. I was born 12/9/84. My mom wouldn't push until we got the TV in there, I guess, to watch Cowboys, Redskins.
Nice.
Anyways, here's my take. Cowboy fans, you guys know as just as well as I do, Jerry Jones and the Jones family isn't going anywhere. We're going to have to suck it up. There's nothing any of us can do. Boycotting ain't going to help. Not buying jerseys ain't going to help, because none of that's going to matter. We are America's team for a reason, and that's mostly because of the Jones family continues to shove the star down everybody's throat because we are the hot topic. That's not our fault. That's just what it is. But with that said, dear God, when Mr. Jones leaves and steps down, then Mr. Stephen Jones is going to come in. Cowboy fans, I got sad news for you. It ain't going to get any better.
All right.
He's the one that's doing the same thing as Mr. Jones.
Well,
doesn't pull the trigger, doesn't do anything, and that's what makes us miserable, Nick. Nick, think about it. 30 years. I was 12 years old. I'm 40 now. We're miserable. We're heated. Do something for us. Give us. You said this a couple of years ago, Nick, and I'll never forget it. And it was the greatest thing you've ever said. One of the greatest things you've ever said. Give the fans something to be happy about. And right now, none of us are happy. Prediction: we're going to get the holy hell kicked out of us in Steelerland. I think it's going to be a blowout, 42-12. I still will say, let's go Cowboys. Let's get rowdy.
How can those two sentences go back to back like that? That was the most upside down call I've ever had on here. Like, I mean, when you think it's going one way and then another, I think the Cowboys are going to get the holy hell kicked out of them, 43-12 to the Steelers. Let's go Cowboys. Let's get rowdy. Make that make sense. I don't know. The whole thing, like, give us something to be excited about. I can't help you if the Super Bowl is your ultimate goal. It doesn't matter one way or another. That's it. I mean, it's like the teenager that's like, I have to have a BMW for my first car. If I don't, then I don't want anything. That's what it feels like. Like, I get it. Like, that's the ultimate goal, but nobody's winning it this year. Get excited about the game coming up, unless you predict a 43-12 loss. If you do, then I can't help you there. But hey, I don't tell anybody how to be a fan. I don't understand that. That call got me all messed up. I didn't that went from left to right. That's like one of those. That's a different kind of roller coaster right there. Hey. Do you, though? That's cool. Thanks for the call. Wally in New York, I'm sorry. We got to go really quickly here. Wally, what's up, man?
Hey, Nick. Big fan. First-time caller. Just a quick point. Devontae Adams. Any interest or no? What do you think?
I think he plays for the Raiders, and we don't talk about other players on other teams. Do I think the Cowboys have interest in getting a wide receiver help? I think they would have some interest in a wide receiver. I don't know if it would be one like him, but I think that they're going to need some help here. It's got to make sense more than this year. So, you know, if there's other guys out there that are their contracts are expiring, so if they're gonna give up next year's draft capital, I think for them they're gonna want it to be somebody that they can have next year, or at least makes sense to go and re-sign. But receiver help makes some sense because you need two good ones. You need 2 great ones. And Brandon Cooks is on the last year of his deal anyways, and he hasn't been great. So, yeah, you signed CD, but to make this thing really work, you need another guy. So, again, I'm not talking about specific players. That guy you mentioned will probably get traded to someone else, and then they'll get calls on here about why didn't the Cowboys do that or whatever. But I think the Cowboys might be looking at somebody, at least some help to get in here at wide receiver. But again, it needs to make sense more than just these next 12 games or so down the line a little bit. I guess there's 13 games left. Anyways, all right, 12 calls today. Good stuff. A lot of stories, a lot of good memories, a lot of talk about the Steelers and Cowboys, Romo, and all this good stuff. All right, you guys were good. Appreciate it. Thanks for everyone. Thank you to Chris Beam for getting us on the air, and we will see you tomorrow. We'll be talking more Cowboys and Steelers on Cowboys Storyline. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this?